are you? Excuse me. I was just enjoying Pokemon Pinball on a, this is a Pow Kitty RGB 30. What a mouthful. But you know, what's driven me to those types of devices is certainly the companies that are refusing to make that which the customer wants. Nintendo, you reckless hoe, you don't put out anything good anymore. You don't put out at all. You used to be the slut that we all loved. Then you started doing the same shit. You became all like all the other game companies that just, they just show and tell. You disgusting, dirty, sacrilegious cur is the only way I can put it. But it is true that the state of gaming these days is in a state of utter disrepair. Not disrepair, it just takes a little bit of innovation, a little bit of thoughtfulness, a little bit of care, and all notions of mediocrity acknowledged, identified, and pushed out of the workspace to continue to get on the path to create something beautiful that people will like, people will enjoy. And so this is actually the 10th of this type of device that I bought, handheld in general. 10 of them since December 2022. Yeah. So it's been a very short amount of time that it's taken me to accrue all these different handhelds. And they're wonderful because for people who didn't live in that era, or they did live in that era, but you just weren't privy to the scene, you weren't hip to the times during it all happening when it was going down. You know, you go back in those days and you think about your Game Boys, your Nintendo 64s, PlayStation 2, 3, you know, let's keep it to PlayStation 2. We're keeping it. PS3 doesn't even deserve to be talked about. It wasn't that great of a system when you think about it retrospectively. Relax. I'm way too spun up right now. I gotta slow down. Hold on. Let me chill out for a second. I get on here and I start making these videos and I speak fast and I speak loudly. I think I know why I do that. When I initially turn these videos, I don't know how I'm going to begin them. So I think being some sort of asinine weirdo who is just all over the place in the beginning, putting it up to 11 before let's gradually climb to that comfortable spot where we can all wade in the warm waters familiarly. But yeah, man, it really is the state of things when it comes to gaming. And I'm opting to often play some sort of 16-bit title, a Pokemon game, Oracle of Ages, Nintendo 64. There's just so many games, so many great games that that are just out there. I've never played them. And a big thing with me when it came to gaming was, if I'm not playing the latest, most fun game right now, then I'm missing out, FOMO type thing. But there's what's the shame in visiting the past in this sense, to play some excellent retro video games? And you know, listen, I'm not going to get into the whole legality thing about handhelds, how you acquire the games to play them. Because as it is, they make these things capable of fitting hundreds of your favorite games. If there's any psychopath on earth who holds 100 games near and dear to their heart, but that's this little thing, thing, this little this device, this pocketable little friend can give me access to an entire library of games. And that's, I tell that to my wife. I'll be sitting next to my wife playing, let's say, a Retroid Pocket 3. Now, you kind of have to be of the handheld scene to understand this. But the Retroid Pocket 3 is a wonderful device. They recently just came out with the 4 and the 4 Pro Plus, or whatever the fuck they do, the Deluxe Super 4. It's an Android device, and it's capable of just, you played PS2 back in the day, you played GameCube back in the day, Wind Waker, Mario Party, Kingdom Hearts. Gonna hear me bring up Kingdom Hearts quite a bit. It's close to me. It is so close to me I can nearly feel it clogging my arteries. I love Kingdom Hearts, and I'm lying next to her in our bed playing that, and I'm just like, damn man, it's funny. I just look at her like, babe, like, you don't know how like blown away I am every now and again by the fact that I have my PS2 library looked like this in a shelf. It was about that wide. Now it's in a folder about a little bit smaller. My dick, and then right there. It's that little piece of space now. Lightly occupying space, not taking up any more than it needs. Kindly being a clean guest, all organized, keeping all the files in its own ROM folder, and selecting them at will, exiting, disc swapping if you're playing a different game. But I know there's like multi-disc games, but those are great though. You set those up, you can just have it swap out right when you finish with the first disc. Fucking insane. Yeah, it's that shit like that blows me away because, dude, when I found out I could download an emulator on my phone and play Pokemon games and Game Boy games and the like on my phone, that took me back. And then I came across the Miu Mini. Miu Mini started this whole thing for me, that bastard. And I don't know how I managed to be able to buy one, but by the skin of my teeth, in the financial strait that I was experiencing at the time, I was able to pull it off and order one. Quite the wait. Comes from China. And you'd be surprised. And this is an incredibly tiny device. Like, this is my wallet, for example. It's about the size of that, I would say, if not a little bit smaller. And it has the thing that it is striking about these devices is that they come from China, and they come from companies you've never heard of. Miu Mini, Ambernick, Retro. I think Retroid is actually a French company though, but I believe Ambernick is Chinese. Pow Kitty, I believe, is Chinese. And in the handheld community, these are some of the most, if not the most popular companies around. And the devices are, I would say, fairly priced. The Miu Mini, I'm not sure if you can get the exact one that I was able to get, because they flew like hotcakes. They flew away like hotcakes with wings into people's mouths. And I forgot my coffee. I'm just noticing that now. It's too late to go back. I'm gonna have to get it. Listen, I'm going to work tonight, and I thought I would just do this real quick. But I'm still talking about this thing about handhelds. It's a fascinating thing. I stumbled upon it during a rough patch in my life, and it's a hobby like this that tends to be expensive is not always the best thing to stumble upon when you're depressed and you're trying to find that thing to distract you from depression, because you just keep throwing money into it. But it not only but this is a big problem in there, guys, this format. It's not the weed, it's just the weed revealing how much of an idiot I really am. Without it, I can kind of keep it together, and the weed's like, no, bitch, we're gonna show the real you. You're a fucking dope. What the sack of shit you are. But these products, then, you know, this, I'm gonna shut this down. Okay, I shut it down. These devices, they very much have a premium feel to them. They don't feel cheap. They, as much as you can, avoid them falling down and breaking or anything like that. But overall, they're well made. I take care of them meticulously. I baby them. I have a whole display area cut out for them in a little nook in my room. And I don't, people manhandle these things. One thing I will say about the handheld community is that there's a burp stuck in there. You get that? I could use a drink right now. Do I have anything? I have water. How long's that been there? It's not even watercolored anymore. That's not water. Well, explains the color. The fuck? There was 2 points. See, I feel myself getting better at this because I've noticed that I've okay. So yes, the premium feel of the devices was surprising. The Miu Mini, if anybody is familiar, you hold it in your hand, it's kind of, it's weighty for what it is. And it is a marvel. It is a wonder to just have all these games that once came in these clunky, large, you know, very bold cartridges. And they're just all in your pocket now. And the reason why I think there's such a spike in popularity with these is because other game companies, with their mediocrity and such, and the quality of which they're putting out projects versus the time that they put into them, you're almost embarrassed for them. It's just pitiable. And it's clearly all about money at this point. There's very little soul in the gaming industry. Very few people who actually care. Very few people who even are in touch with what gamers desire. But it really is just scummy greediness at play, isn't it? It's wild. It's amazing. And it, like many other industries, are just going to the wayside. Hollywood's imploding, but I mean, that was on the way. The gaming industry, we should have, you know, we all should have known, I'm sure people did know, that in industries such as gaming that would grow to be so popular would be consumed by greed at some point or another. Because the people that built up this industry aged out. They left their companies, they retired, they do consulting work or whatever. And over time, all these people are getting brought in. And it's like with anything. As a company gets older and older, its principles change, its ethics change, its ideas change, the way it does things changes, because the passing over of knowledge is literally the game of telephone from you know, predecessor from predecessor to successor and so on. And eventually things just get changed. People have different visions. And then, we all have this perception that a company is its own entity and it's going to stay the way that it is. Well, just because it has always been so great, you have to count on the leadership, the human leadership behind it to maintain that that way that you view it, or the way that the majority views it, that has made it so popular and so beloved, whatever brand that might be. So with gaming, when you see a market that is becoming saturated with companies that are passionate about delivering a renewed experience in retro gaming to people, where you can go back and play some of the greatest controller bound, television, TV set bound games right in your hands, in the palm of your hands. Games that you had to play on PS2. You ran all the way to the front of the TV where your fucking entertainment set was. You sat on your knees like a fucking dumb 4-year-old. You unfurled the controller cord. You plugged it in. You ran that cord all the way back to the couch, and you sat down on the couch, and you slumped forward, and you played and fell asleep, whatever the fuck. But the future is now, baby. It's here. And now this one device does not have PS2 capability, but to be able to play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, original Game Boy, some Nintendo 64. I mean, not all these devices will claim to run, they can run certain devices. They're capable of it. Just not always the best, not always well. But I came into that hobby just blind. I barely had an idea what a ROM was. So what I was so grateful for that period of time, when I was depressed, and finding this was a godsend, honestly, it was the tinkering and the learning of all the methodology through which to do things, learning what custom firmware was, learning all sorts of different OS systems to install into different handhelds and what works best and settings. It's so much fun. And the point that I was making about the handheld communities, like the subreddits, I know, we all think of Reddit as this, and it really is. It's really that childish place where everybody's just there to start some shit, and it's not a happy place. But I will say that a lot of the handheld communities, I can't really name specific ones, but starting with the Miu community, I fell into them and learned everything I needed to know about programming a device and adding games to it and all that type of shit. RetroArch and all RetroArch, yeah, all that shit. And it's a much kinder community than most that I've encountered on Reddit. I'm really honestly going to commit to 25 to 30 minutes this time. We're at 19 minutes and 50 seconds. That's cool. I still have work to go to tonight, and I forgot my coffee, so after I finish this, I'm going to have to go back up, because I'm at the end of my driveway right now. Go back up, get the coffee, head to work, and work on this, hopefully get it up and running at some point tonight. But doing these has been a delight. So much fun. But yeah, the handheld communities out there, like I said, can't really, the Retroid, Enbernick, Powkitty, subreddits, Miu, whatever the fuck, Steam Deck, all those motherfuckers, they've been great. They've been so helpful, and it really, like, they're more helpful there than I've seen other places on the internet in general, not just Reddit. So shout out to all of them. They know who they are. Good people out there, making great products, actually putting passion and soul into what they fucking create, because it means just as much to them to to have that experience delivered to them as it means to have it delivered to you. You know, they want to enjoy that too. So they are making it the best that they know that we want it as, if that makes any sense. There's that one incident though, if anybody's privy. Fuck, I don't remember his name. I don't want to make up a name and whatever, but the creator behind this particular emulator, which was Aether SX2, and it's for downloading onto devices such as that, with the capabilities, of course, to play PlayStation 2 titles. And so something, I don't know what the context was, so I can't even say if this dude was really in the wrong for what he did, because given the right reasons, I think I would have done this too. But I think he was getting fucked over in a sense, and people were taking credit for it. I could get behind it, but anyways, I'll describe to you what he did. He's just it's just sabotaged his own fucking software. You know, he made it so that ads would constantly pop up. It would just run terribly, and it it was all for the sake of getting back at whoever. But there's been workarounds. There's you can find the guides for them out there too. It's a huge, expansive world, and it does come with its own drama too. But it's just it always blows my mind. It's just one of those things where it's because I know, like a lot of us out there, perhaps you watching this, understood the struggle of, I couldn't go back to that. I don't have the space, I don't have the patience, I don't have the money to amass retro game collections. I just don't. It'd be nice, it'd be kind of cool. That'd be a cool thing to get into. Time, money, other responsibilities, can't do it. So I have a multitude of games throughout a variety of consoles at my fingertips. And it's just a matter of picking something up and pressing a button. I'm not plugging anything in unless I have to charge it. Handhelds are great. Get one. I've gotten one for a lot of people I know so far. And whether or not they play them, I don't care. I am just so amazed by the technology that I feel other people should just have one, because they're so fucking cool. The one that I gifted people the most, I think, was the RG35XX. That's a nifty device. That's just a great Game Boy device. So we're at 24 minutes now. Love handhelds. Learning about ROM hacks is cool too. ROM hacks are fucking nuts. Taylor Swift. Never heard of him. But this shit with Biden. Sorry to get political. I need people looking at this country with just a clear lens. They ain't seeing shit blue. They ain't seeing shit red. They're just seeing what is happening. Those people's voices and their minds and their opinions and their potential solutions are just not at the forefront where they should be. And I understand why here I go. This country is putting its boot on our collective throat. It's true. And it's a gradual thing. Everybody thinks, it's like, we're not like expecting iRobot right now, or fucking whatever the fuck. Like, what do it's just, it isn't going to look the way you saw it in V for Vendetta. It isn't going to look the way you saw it in certain movies. It's going to be entirely different. We ain't never seen what's going to take place, what is going to topple what this country is. Every civilization meets its end. At the end of Marcus Aurelius's life, the Pax Romana was no more, and Rome fell. And in no way am I saying Biden is... here we go. In no way am I saying Biden is Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a tad more cogent, I would say, than Biden at most times. So, oh man, doing a terrible job at... I guess the point is to talk, so... It's like, what is this country to do? We're faced with a very distasteful choice. Nikki Haley's a retard. She's gone. Sorry. No more Hail Haley. Hail Haley! Why has that not been a meme yet? This woman just wants to start wars. She wants to start all the wars that everybody's been wanting to fucking start. And she wants your login information every time you watch fucking porn or some shit. I don't know what the fuck, dude. She's out of her fucking mind, and she's just appealing to her donors, you know, the people that give her millions of dollars. Yeah, she's a fucking Lockheed Martin shill, dude. You know, you don't want a defense contractor shill. It's like, it's so sad that at this point we went through Bush, 8 years of Bush. That's basically what she is again. She is Cheney. She is just Cheney in you know, as the first, the fucking, what am I fucking trying to say? She'd be the Cheney of a female president of the United States. She's gross. She's gross. She would immediately lead us into war. And people don't see through that. People still will support her, donate to her. And it's like, this woman that you support, she wants to send your daughter, your son, your husband, or your wife to fight in a fucking... You hear about those 3 National Guardsmen that got killed in Jordan? What the fuck were they doing there? Why? Why do we have troops? Why do we have National Reservists in Jordan right now? Makes no fucking sense. It's loopy. Dude, don't join the Guard. Just don't join the military. Unless you have a very great planned out reason to do so. It's part of your life's path, and like, go for it. I'm not discouraging anybody from doing it who's already going to do it. But if you're someone who is just thinking about joining because you have nothing better in your life to do, think a little bit harder about something better to do. Telling you. Chris, you sound like a real bitch talking about the military like that. Well, me being a bitch is aside the fact. Come on. I know you. We've been through this back and forth before. You know as well as I do. It's just a crapshoot. You might as well buy a used boat. It's like, what the fuck? You might as well buy a used boat. Because what's the point of keeping it if you're only going to wade in the shallow end? Man. Watch out, Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm mining diamonds. God. I'm glad that guy hopped out of my algorithm. Ah, man, Gary, I just like, I don't know if like I'm still young enough to pursue my dreams. How old are you, man? I'm like 45. No, you're actually 10. Come on, you're a kid. You're a baby, dude. You're 3. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. I get his energy. I just think those guys, there's just something a little inauthentic about their realness image. I could be completely wrong. I honestly don't care to be right, ever. But it's just an energy. It's just a thing, a vibe type of thing that you get from characters such as them. But whatever. He's funny. He's a funny dude. I like seeing his shit. I'll be honest. I was narrowly susceptible. It's not like a susceptibility. It's not like he's saying that, like, but I don't fucking know, dude. There's just a sort of, any guy I see, like that other guy, Dan Pena, like Gary Vaynerchuk is, to me, is just one of those characters. He's one of the much less harmful characters. I would say he's harmless, pretty much. He's not peddling anything bad. He just talks about hard work, how he goes about it, goes to fucking yard sales. I think that's actually pretty cool. I think that's cool. If you're good enough at it, you can turn a pretty big profit. If you're motivated enough to do the selling, do the footwork, all that shit. I'm not. Fuck. Okay. Gone past 30 minutes. But we're good. This is fun. This was fun. I'm glad I just decided to just do this again before I headed off. Great stopping in. Nice to have you. Thank you for being here. As always. Name of the game, whatever you want. On this and many others like that. Check them out, dude. Check out Handhelds. Handhelds.com. And check out the handheld section. And look up the handheld models. You'll pick something. You'll find something you'll like. Handhelds are cool. So, thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you.